Yeah,
you don't just stab yourself like 36
No, there's
times.
tool marks on her bones that kind of match up with the clothing left over.
Exactly. And the horsehair. So had she been horseback riding, had she stopped by on this trail and, was like petting these horses and stuff? Well, I had the thought too that, someone often would use horses, especially back in the day to carry gear.
Yeah.
So, it's possible someone could have killed her, thrown her body over a horse to go up this mountain trail, and then dispose of her body.
Well, I was going to say, you briefly, I've seen people do it. Horses kind of scare me. I haven't really done a lot myself, but stop, see some horses, you pet them for a second. It just doesn't seem like you get horsehair all over you from that. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that seems like
it seems like you have to be on the horse,
or somebody could have thrown you.
Yes,
and because Judy wasn't a small lady,
right?
She was a plus size gal.
Okay.
So it's not like someone could have murdered her and then dragged her up this mountain.
Right, to put her way out there in the middle of nowhere.
Right. So I think if she was killed elsewhere, it is very plausible that someone threw her on the back of this horse to carry the body up there.
It could be.
In and out quick.
Very well could be.
But, they don't really know if she was murdered there in the woods and then buried there, or if she'd been murdered someplace else and then placed there.
Right.
Because, of course, this is 1997. They don't have the forensics and all that, as they do today. So, and I guess the decomposition as well was kind of hard to know, like, had this body been moved, or is this the site of the murder?
Well, it sounds like a nightmare for investigators anyway. No controlled scene really besides the grave.
Right.
You don't really know what's going on. People typically, when they bury someone, don't typically kill them in that spot, wouldn't you say?
And again, there were no real travel records or hotel information.
Yeah, there's nothing to find. There's nothing to track down.
And she did have cash on her person. So, it's feasible she paid for these things in cash.
Right.
But the question then is, how much cash did she actually have on her, right?
Right.
And then it's like the likelihood that she was able to carry that much cash up and disappear on this trip. Who knows how long she thought she was going to stay gone, if that's the case, So I would think, would have to leave with a lot of cash on her person.
Well, yeah, but so you're leaving, let's say you're leaving your new husband. Do you go hiking in the Pisgah National Forest? They did say she was a bit of an outdoors enthusiast. It just doesn't seem like, seems like you turn up at a friend's house or family's house or someone's house.
The other thing is, did she meet someone? Did she have plans to meet someone in Philadelphia and run off with them?
Well, yeah.
Did she meet someone while she was in Philadelphia and then just get this wild idea that she was going to take off on this road trip?
Right.
There's so many unanswered questions.
There
in
almost
this case.
Seems like there has to be this other person that she really didn't want her friends and family to know about. Honestly.
Yeah. Was she leading some kind of secret life, double life?
This very strange
this
case.
Is pre-Facebook, pre-internet, so it wasn't like she was on Tinder.
Right.
Or she was on a missed connection on Craigslist or Casual Encounter or something.
But still, people still met people various ways and ran off.
Yeah,
they did it.
So who knows? There's even been some speculation that she might have been a victim of the serial killer Gary Michael Hilton. And we're actually going to talk about one of his cases.
Oh, yes. I've been wanting to do that.
So he had left victims in a very similar condition, not crazy far from where this happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that idea. And the whole thing is just so weird. And then you have to start thinking, could she have been suffering from some kind of amnesia? Maybe some sort of dissociative amnesia? Because from what I've understood about it is there have been cases of people who just kind of get this case of amnesia, kind of out of nowhere. And then they wake up and they're in a completely different area.
Really?
And they don't know how they got there.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And so I guess it's called a fugue state.
Well, I've heard of fugue states.
Of amnesia. And that can last actually up to a couple of months. And it can trigger some weird conditions like unexpected travel as part of that.
Really?
So you get really confused, disoriented, you don't remember anything, and then you just, you travel, you leave the area, and then just show up someplace else.
Wow.
So that could have happened, that she could have had some kind of weird mental break. I don't know.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we will never know.
Unless something happens, someone confesses,
right,
or some big break in the case of some type. Which,
so, I mean, I'm assuming her children are still alive, and I'm sure they would like to see this solved and find some answers for their mother's murder and disappearance. And
I'm sure.
would like to know what happened, some
Who
closure.
wouldn't?
Of course, her husband, Jeffrey Smith, is now dead and has been dead for like 14 years. But this is just a really crazy story, if you think about it. I mean, so many questions.
It's one of the strangest stories I've ever heard, honestly, being so far removed from where they don't even know how or why you went missing, and, from one area and then found in another with these new clothes on, these new hiking clothes and pocket full of cash. It's crazy. It's a weird story.
It is really weird.
Very weird story.
Just another mountain murder served up to you extra hot here tonight.
Yes, and this is exactly what I thought could have happened to you when I came out of the store the other evening and you were gone.
Did you really?
For all I know, you could end up found dead in the Pisgah National Forest covered in horsehair.
I could be found dead in Philadelphia.
there
Under the
you go.
Liberty Bell covered in horsehair.
Draped on the Rocky Balboa statue.
Right?
In a very sexually suggestive pose.
Okay, enough of that.
But that would be crazy.
Well, I even asked you because you were telling me, I was really worried something had happened to you, and then we kind of joked about, okay, we need to stop listening to all these true crime podcasts.
Yeah, we need to take a break.
Stop
maybe
reading up on serial killers.
Right.
But then I was like, what would you really do if I was missing? Like, if I just up and disappeared, what would you do?
I would be freaked out, and I would probably have friends come stay with me because I would be beside myself. I'll be totally freaked out.
So you'd go home.
Yeah, I'd go home and
You'd call your buddies to come over with some beer.
Well, you might need some beer.
Some wings.
To stay. Well, you're going to have sustenance throughout the vigil.
A fat-ass J.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Lord, no. No. But, yes, I honestly, I don't know what I would do, but I would be out of hell.
Call the police.
Call the police. Be ready to be a suspect because I know that's coming. And I'm going to tell them to shove that polygraph junk science shit up their ass.
Oh, well, then you're really going to be a suspect.
Well, I know, but I just, Dr. or Mari and all that, it's bullshit. Junk science, there's a reason it's not admissible in a court of law.
Well, if you go missing, I will file a police report, and then I'm going to get your credit cards, and I'm going to buy lots of stuff.
Okay, well,
just kidding.
It's not going to last as long as you think it might.
Okay.
And would you take the polygraph?
No.
No. Okay, there you go.
No.
We don't need your junk pseudoscience bullshit.
No, because I would want to be.
You'd want to be the suspect?
Headlined as the Black Widow.
You'd start wearing black dresses and big hats, wouldn't you?
How would that be any different than how I normally
dress?
Well,
I'm saying you would put your clothes on.
I could really play this up because it would be like that whole West Memphis 3 kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they were just like, oh, she's like this satanic witch and she wears black all the time.
Yeah.
And has a bunch of tattoos and
right.
Worships the devil and, has a lot of dead things in her house.
So you'd become the suspect.
What normal woman has a rat skeleton on her coffee table?
You'd become the suspect and stay the suspect. And then my true killers would get away.
Probably.
Well, there you go.
Actually, probably what would happen.
There you go.
In this area, in the Bible Belt.
It's a little bit of satanic panic.
But I would never hurt you.
No, and I would never hurt you.
Like Boy George. Do you really want to hurt me? I would never hurt you.
I would never hurt you, baby.
I know, but it's really scary to think about. We kind of had that little extra podcast that we posted that was just kind of us bantering a bit, and we talked about disappearances and just people who up and vanish.
Yeah, to never be heard from again.
So freaky. Well, thanks for tuning in to Mountain Murders. We'll have a brand new episode headed your way sooner than later. So thanks for checking us out. You can find us on Patreon, Spreaker. We are on Spotify now. We should be on Apple Podcasts, iTunes. You should be able to find us on iHeart Podcasts pretty soon. We've submitted there.
Okay.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
SoundCloud, Pocket Cast, Castbox. Right. We's all up in the business here.
We all over the place.
We is.
We like some dog poo when it gets stepped in.
You actually had that happen not that long ago.
Yeah, I did.
It was horrible.
It was a stinky situation.
Yeah, thanks for that shitty situation.
But yeah, we're everywhere. So just look us up. And if we're not where you look, just hit us up on Mountain Murders, our website, and let us know. Or on Facebook page, Mountain Murders, and let us know. And we'll try to get where you look.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, we have some folks who are throwing in money for our podcast. So you can go over there if you like, throw in a couple of bucks, and we'll give you a shout out. And you can also make some show suggestions. And we might even have you as a guest host. We could do that via Skype. Yes,
and we're going to we're in the act of putting together some quirky bonus material that would be just for our Patreon customers or
supporters.
Our supporters, rather. Sorry,
customers. It makes me feel like
I know.
Let's just call them our Johns.
Yeah, our tricks.
Yeah, our Johns, our
tricks. Patreon tricks. We're going to put together something very special for you guys. We're still working on that, and and we appreciate you listening at the very least. And feel free to leave us a 5-star review wherever you can, and just keep it going. And we really appreciate you listening to us.
Thanks, guys.